Intro to Music Technology, UMass Lowell. Welcome to our Intro to Music Technology course. In this lecture, we're going to talk a little bit about technology in music and the role that it will play in this course, as well as in your subsequent studies here at UMass Lowell. This is a one-semester course exploring the inventive ways that today's musicians incorporate technology for creative, promotional, and educational purposes in their careers. This course provides a practical and hands-on approach to notation software, MIDI sequencing and electronic instruments, audio and video applications, the computer as a performance instrument, and web-based professional resources. This course will be useful for all music majors. It is required currently for SRT majors and music performance majors. Here in the 21st century, there are no aspects of a career in music that are not directly impacted by technology. Technology now touches all aspects of our lives, and our musical lives are no different. Even in the most traditional of music settings, we find technology plays a role. So consider a very traditional music setting, a live, large concert ensemble like an orchestra, a wind ensemble, or a concert band. In a live concert for one of these events, something that we might consider the least technologically reliant kind of musical event that we might experience, we're still likely to encounter live sound reinforcement during the concert, some kind of documentation being collected during the concert. Those could be audio and video recordings. That could also, these days, be a live stream of the concert that's being sent out on any of a number of platforms. That might include the use of notation software to create the parts and scores. That could include any electronic instruments called for in the score. Could include the design and manufacture, and often the repair of the acoustic instruments on stage. Very, very little instrument manufacture nowadays does not benefit from extensive acoustic testing and design. In other words, technology makes a way into our acoustic instruments even when we don't rely on that technology during day-to-day performance. And technology also played a huge role in the design of the concert hall by acousticians, acoustic architects, and engineers. On the side of music creation in the world of composition, virtually all music production these days involves the use of digital audio workstations and sequencers. It involves the use of various music creation tools. These include algorithmic and AI music generation, as well as the tools we use to create those algorithms and those AIs. That includes music notation software, the way that we communicate to our performers what we want them to actually perform. On the music creation side, focusing on performance, this would include the use of electronic and electric instruments. Those would also include acoustic electronic hybrid systems. So this might involve adding a microphone to a traditional acoustic instrument, which allows us to then take audio from that instrument and process it in various ways. The most obvious example of this would be the electric guitar. But increasingly, we're finding composers enjoy writing works for traditional acoustic instruments that can be processed in real time. That includes related fields like music instrument design, manufacture, and repair, as we discussed on the previous slide. That includes media authoring and distribution, in other words, understanding how we need to code things and transcode them to get them to perform the best while streaming back on services like YouTube, Tidal, Pandora, Spotify. And this includes other tools for maintaining a public professional presence. Music technology has a huge role in music scholarship and research. It's hard to imagine going back to the days when I was a student, when we used an actual card catalog to go through and sort resources, when we had to dig through old microfilm lists to find articles, all of the things that we take for granted because we simply use search engines. However, in this course, we want to make sure that you're aware of various search tools that will make resources available to you that are not generally going to be available through a regular Google search. In other words, there are databases that we use in fields like music theory, musicology, which would include the study of music history, and ethnomusicology, which generally are only going to be open through a university resource. In other words, the university pays money to have subscription access to these services. So we want to make sure that you're aware of these services and these resources because you will likely use them in your classes. Finally, on the side of music education and training, music technology has primary and support roles in everything we do these days, ranging from music theory software to software to help to develop core musicianship, software to help quiz us, prep us, and help us to study music history, instrument performance, anything from YouTube videos to online resources, online music resources, things like that, as well as ensemble training. So, very rarely in the world of music education are we getting very far from the world of technology here in the 21st century. So, in your music studies here at UMass Lowell, music technology is going to be a central part of all of our music degree programs. The ones we'll focus on in this class are music notation software, which you will use in music theory and M&A classes, but you may also use it for transcriptions in your applied music lessons, could be used for transcriptions, arrangements, and original compositions in some of your ensembles and during studio sessions. We'll also take a look at digital audio workstations. These are the audio editing tools that we use for recording and editing audio, creating and arranging music, and the performance of music live and in the studio. We'll be looking at some video editing software and its use in the creation of videos for online portfolios, auditions, teaching lessons. And we'll look at some research resources. Again, academic research in music theory, music history, pedagogy, and other academic classes generally rely on databases that will not be available through a Google search. And finally, we also want to understand that there are great career resources as you begin to move your career from the student phase to the professional phase. There are a lot of resources out there to help you research career paths, to help you find jobs to apply for, and to generally help you advance your career. So, throughout your time here, you're going to have some chances to explore these topics. Obviously, in some of the classes that I just mentioned, this technology will have a role, but the other places that you'll find more creative and interesting applications will be in your ensembles. An important one here being the Contemporary Electronic Ensemble, though many of our ensembles are utilizing technology to some extent. Again, you'll find some chances to utilize this kind of technology in your applied music lessons, as well as in any creative work that you might be interested in. That could include arranging, songwriting, composition, film scoring, any other kind of creative music work that you're engaging. These are the places where we tend to start really learning our way through the technology. So, last few thoughts here on how the course is going to be arranged. You're going to find that there are a lot of videos to watch this semester. I will try and generally keep these less than 5 minutes. In other words, they'll be small, easily digestible blocks that you can usually watch in one sitting. I will try and keep them fairly focused on a specific topic, which means for any particular class, you may have to watch 4 or 5 videos to get the breadth of knowledge that we're trying to cover for that area. And by covering that material in video lectures, we'll be able to explore these in person, in class, by actually engaging with the technology.